I am DM Zone. This is Gamers Oasis. We're going to do the Undead Stalking the Dungeon, Rodemus Keep. Okay, guys, so now the Undead section, I had to decide where I wanted this to start and where I wanted this to stop as far as the Undead goes. Progression of Undead basically goes like this. You have skeletons and zombies very close to the bottom. Then it goes to like ghouls and thouls and then that type of stuff. And it goes up from there for whites and so on and so on until you get to like mummies and whatnot and vampires. Things that are unrealistic for a first level adventure. So, one of the things I was thinking about was the undead are part of the story and they should be part of the module. And you certainly want to have this aspect in there. But I don't want to put anything devastatingly critical in it. So while I want to have two per se layers for the undead, because there's two types of the four creatures I want in there that have treasure. I don't want full ghoul and full thoul layers. I feel like that'd be too much for the party considering everything else that's in the dungeon and the layout and the makeup of everything. So I'm going to have two layers. But I'm going to fill the excess spots for thouls and ghouls and fill them with zombies and skeletons, which have no treasure. And then we'll go from there. And part of their justification for this, I guess you could say, is while the were-rats, the true leaders of this dungeon, would want to have these more powerful creatures in there, any of them that got too curious or too savvy to what was actually going on, I think the were-rats would be like, it's time to go, because we can't have that. Now, thouls and ghouls tend to be, let's just go with ghouls. So thouls are ghouls that are actually hobgoblins. They're slightly more powerful than ghouls as far as I remember, but they're basically the same type of mentality. Ghouls in this version of the game are very feral, predatory, bestial, and that type of thing. They have a functioning brain. But they're not like whites or zombies or, like vampires or like, those type of things. They're kind of like shadows. They're like a weaker version of a shadow. All they think about is their driven primal instincts. Okay, so with those two in mind, we're going to have treasure types B and we're going to have C. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and get into the actual module itself so you can see it. Okay, as you can see here, it's loaded up. So I have basically my notes and everything from the players, and this is kind of like the layout I had with the goblins, if you remember. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull up, and you'll see these cards go by as I do this, but I'm going to go ahead and pull up what I should be rolling for each one. I'm going to go ahead and start alphabetical order in reverse so I can kind of flip through this quickly, but you'll be able to see this as I go. Alright, so it says here zombies have no treasure, and there's 4 to 24. That is going to be 46 zombies total. So my total is 17. So there are 17 total zombies in the entire place. There's 2d8 in each area. Now, I know there's none on the first layer. And I know that there would be some on patrol, and there's going to be some in the lair, and there's going to be some in the alternate entrance. So I want to do it like this. Let's do 5 here, and let's do 5 here, and let's put 7 here. That gives me 17 zombies. Okay. And this will quickly turn into a lot more. They do a D8 damage. They're a little bit tougher in that way. They have a morale of 12. They're not going to go anywhere. And they're considered 2 hit dice. Okay. So let me go here to... Oops. Next is thouls. There's a D10. Total of 5. So again, I'm going to have one Thule there. And let's go with, in the lair, 2 Thules. And the alternate entrance, let's have 2 as well. Next is skeletons. There's 3d10 Oh, let me go back to this real quick. So we have treasure type C. They do a D3 points of damage with their claws, or they do weapon damage. If they're claws, they, like ghouls, they do that paralyzation. So, Thules regenerate 1 hit point per round as long as they're alive. So that's basically how, and they gave us a suggestion how to do that. Thule's a magical combination of a ghoul and a hobgoblin. And a troll. Wow, okay. See the D&D expert rules. Alright. So, it's a 3-way creature. Interesting. Okay. So, they have a morale of 10, which means they actually have intelligence, which means they can break. They count as fighter level 3. They have 3 hit dice. AC 6, that's pretty strong. Alright, let me go ahead and get so they're going to have treasure type C. Let's go actually into the lair. Thule type C. We'll come back to that. Skeletons. 3 to 30. So that's going to be 3d10. That's not very many. I think I re-roll those ones. We have 5. I mean, that's like so few skeletons. That's not even worth it saying there's skeletons there. So now we have 20 skeletons. That's more like it. So on patrol, I'm going to break this up into groups of 3, slightly favoring the lair. I'm going to put 6 skeletons. 6 skeletons over here. And that leaves 8 skeletons for here. Now we're going to we have no treasure type here. They do a d6 points of damage. They're 1 hit dice. So it goes skeletons, then zombies, and then probably ghouls, and then probably Thules after it, I'm willing to bet. Let's get over here. Ghouls. Ghouls are 2 hit dice. I would for sure say that they are on the lower side of Thules, because they're not regenerating crazy things. They also have, actually, Thules may not have a special, but for sure the ghouls do. I think it's their bite. That might be it. Let's take a look. Ghouls are undead creatures that are hideous like beasts. Humans who attack anything attacked by ghouls will be paralyzed. Creature of ogre size or smaller. They hit successful except elves. The victim makes a save versus paralysis. Opponent is paralyzed in the attack of the opponent. Paralyzation lasts 2 to 8 turns unless removed by a cure light spell. Cure light wound spell. Wow. Okay. I don't think any of that is in the Thule. Nope. Thules do not have the paralyzation, but they do have regeneration. So Thules often are the bodyguards of hobgoblin kings and whatnot. Kind of makes sense why you have these together. Ghouls have treasure type B, and they are morale 9. And there's 2 to 16, so that's 2d8. Oof, 13. That's highly unfortunate. That's a lot. Alright, so let's go with 3 ghouls. And we'll put 3. That's going to make it, let's go 4. That leaves 5 for here. 5 ghouls. And ghouls layer type B. And we will get into that in just a second. Now this is all going to be a combined treasure essentially, even though they are slightly different in their nature. And I'm not even 100% sure ghouls and Thules would remain in contact, but I'm going to say in this situation they do. They're just freshly made Thulls and haven't been released yet into Hobgoblin King because the mercenaries are here. Maybe that's the payment the were-rats are doing, is they've captured a troll. I have to write this down. All right. So, were-rats capture a troll, and through magic of an unknown wizard, magic user, not the W word, Thulls were made and are payment for the hobgoblins. Okay, so there's going to be, this indicates that there is a band of hobgoblins in the area, or a king. There is a hobgoblin king because of this now. Is seeking Thulls for his kingdom, which is in comp. That's my little daughter there, sorry. Kingdom of Karamikos. Okay. What does that actually mean? That's probably several hobgoblin layers put together with an actual king above it. But I'll get into that whenever the party goes that direction. But this hasn't happened yet. They just created the Thulls. So this might be kind of what the party is trying to prevent. Now you can explain that a little bit better. Now let's come over here and take a look. We have 50 on type. Let's go with the type C first. We have a 20% chance of copper. So come here. That is not the right direction. We have a 30% of the next one, which I didn't even see what that was before I said it. And we didn't get it. Then we have 10% chance of electrum. Wow, 99. Too bad we're not trying to roll high. All right, no gold, no platinum. 25% chance of jewelry and jewels. Here is Abcis. We do have jewelry, and it's a D4, I think. Yes. Only one piece of jewelry. Well, that can be a lot all by itself. Jewelry 1. Back to that. Then we have gems. We have the same percent chance for gems. Wow. Okay, so we have that one too. This is a D4 gem. 4 gems. Gem 1. Gem 2. Gem 3. And now we have a 10% chance of magic items. Oh, nope. Okay, so they just bring money, no actual thing. We'll see if that works out in the end. Okay, so now ghouls are type B. So they have a 50% chance of copper pieces. That's not 8. It's a D8 pieces. I don't know why I'm doing. So they have 8,000 copper. Then we have 25% chance of silver. Then we have 25% chance of electrum. There we go. That's a D4, I think. Yep. D4 times 1,000. 4,000 EP. We have 25% chance of gold. Nope. Again, if we're trying to roll high, that'd be amazing. 25% chance of jewelry. We have that. That's going to be a D6 jewels or jewelry. 5 pieces. Wow, this is going to be a lot. Jewelry 1, jewelry 2, jewelry 3, jewelry 4, 5. Alright, now let's see if there's a 25% chance of jewels or gems. So I do. That would be a new. And now let's look at magic items. We have a 10% chance. Now I was thinking about this, and it says there's a 10% chance of any one, then sword, and then weapon. I think I'm going to roll for each one of those. So 10% chance for that, for any. Nope. And then sword is close. And then weapon. Wow, that's really close. Sorry, 10%? Yep. Alright, so, it says that only do that for gems and jewelry, so I'm not going to do it in the future. There truly was not meant to be anything there. Alright. So let me go down here and see the value of each one of these. Okay, so gems. I didn't have that many. I have a few gems. We'll start with that real quick. We'll start with gem 1. It's going to be percentile. Let's see which one we get. 39 falls into the second category, which is a 50 gem. And again, I'm going to get into what the actual name and what type it is. So 61, that's going to fall into the next category, which is 100. $70, I think that's still 100. Yes. Okay. Now we're going to look at jewelry. Jewelry is 3d6 times 100. Oof, 1400. And that's going to be including the jewels and everything in there. So this one here is going to be the same thing. This is, well, it literally is the same thing. Probably will be described differently, but we'll see. Okay. So as you can see, jewels or jewelry is certainly the most expensive thing in this. Is where you get the most, and this is where you're going to get a lot of your experience, because all of these jewelry are non-magical, and a lot of these jewelries are worth a lot. I mean, just taking the jewelry you have here in the ghoul lair, you have 1400, 1100, so that's 25, plus 1500 is 4000, plus 700 is 4,700, plus 9 is 5,600. That's 5,600 experience points divided amongst everyone, and that's not including the 8,000 copper pieces and the 4,000 electrum pieces, which is going to be broken up into different denominations of coins, but the majority will be electrum pieces and in copper pieces. And all this will be combined into one layer. And I may give some to each one of the ghouls and thouls to kind of represent this. I may put gems on the thouls versus that. Let's see, I have 1 piece of jewelry and I have 3 pieces of gems and I have 5 thouls. So maybe not the one patrolling, but the 2 inside the lair and the 2 inside the alternate entrance might carry a gem on them, and the one inside the lair will actually carry the jewelry. And it makes sense that they don't actually have copper pieces or electrum pieces yet, or coins. And then the ghoul lair will have that probably wherever they store the body, because again, they're not there for the loot, they're there for the eating the bones and whatnot. So they're probably going to have a very disgusting room to go through. Cool. So now I just need to break this up into different groups. So let me go ahead and pull up those maps. Okay, guys, you can see here, this is the DM map right here, this big one. And you can see there's several S's for like secret passageways. And again, this is for the DM's point of view. When you zoom in on it, it's a lot easier to read. I've actually done this in a different scale than what you would see there. Like, you can't fit this on your computer screen per scale. I had to zoom in and basically take multiple shots and then composite them together. And if I did my job right, you can't see the composite lines. But you can see there's traps and there's gratings going down to the next layer. So I talked in the goblin one that there is this entranceway here, and that there is one side over here that had goblins in an ambush and they had a way down. That is this one right here. This one here is the one that has the prisoners in it, in the first basic room area you go to. These 4 rooms here are kind of one area. Then over here you have essentially this is like a catacombs with like a secret entrance to get into it, and one of them has a specific sarcophagus that's special. And then over here you're going to have the same type of thing, a secret entrance into actual like family members. And then over here you have an actual probably like the eating room, if you were to do that maybe, because right here you have the fear being brought up as you go by all these statues that basically have urns and the remains of the prior inhabitants that lived there in the base of the statues. And that's kind of that. So now you have this. Let me go ahead and exit out this. Let me get this 1 second. Center that real quick, and then we exit out. This is what the this is the actual what the players will see on their side. And again, I have like doorways there to try and make it so that it looks like there's a wall, and then not reveal the fact that there's actually a secret door there. I need to figure out how to do this better. Anyways, so I need to go ahead and decide where things are going to be. I really see this as more of there will be a patrol in this area, but we don't know where they're going to be, and there's a possibility they can hide from it and move away from it. Then over here, I probably will have a nesting area where they feel safe and they want to be. Over here where I have the zombies and skeletons again. And then over here we're going to have again there's going to be probably ghouls or zombies kind of milling around in this general vicinity behind the secret door. There will be some in the feeding area, which will be at one point in time like a treasure room, which is why it still has significant importance for them. So I have on the layer level, let me do this real quick. We'll do the patrols. So I'm going to have 2 patrols. I had 2 hobgoblin patrol or goblin patrols with a leader. I'm going to do this again because it breaks down pretty nice. Yeah, I don't think I want a Thule and 4 ghouls in one patrol. So let's do this way. We'll have patrol 1. It's going to be 1 Thule, 2 ghouls, and let's do the lower end of the, actually no, let's do it this way. Let's do it, they don't want to be slowed down, so because of Thule, they take 6 skeletons. Then we're going to have patrol 2, and that's going to be 2 ghouls and 5 zombies. So the patrol with skeletons is more terrifying with that Thule and gives them kind of an idea that there are things like the Thule in this area. And then you have the more normal, what you'd run into type of thing. And then we're going to put, for treasure types, we'll break that in there later, but just know that the Thule will have the jewelry, and then the gems will probably be broke up amongst the different goblins we have here, or the ghouls I have here. Or no, excuse me, those are the Thules, my bad. But I will put no jewelry on them. I'll keep that in the actual thing, because the ghouls, I don't really see them wearing stuff. So no undead unless noise. Okay. So on the zombie layer, we have 10A, or 10, I'm just going to put room 10. And that one has 5, so I'm going to take this down, because this, now I'm going to, in the layer, we have 8 skeletons, 5 zombies. So let's go ahead and do, I'm going to do, let's do 3 zombies, and let's do 4 skeletons. Okay, and that's it for that. Now, I'm going to do left wing patrol. That's going to be 1 ghoul. I'm going to do the rest of the zombies here. Or part of the zombies. 2 zombies. And 2 skeletons. I'm going to do right wing patrol. And I'm going to have, I'd have the same thing. 1 ghoul, 2 zombies, and 2 skeletons. Then I'm going to have the feeding room, and that's going to have basically everything else. So we're going to have 2 thools, 3 ghouls. That's it. But that's a pretty devastating room. And inside there I'll have this parcel with all this stuff broke down. Then the alternate entrance, I'm basically going to set this up in patrols. I'm going to have patrol 1, patrol 2, patrol 3. We're going to have 1 Thule, 2 ghouls, 3, and then this one I guess we're just going to have 2 zombies. 1 Thule, 2 ghouls, 3 skeletons, and then that's going to leave 3 zombies. Okay, so I don't have 3 patrols. You know what, maybe I'll make them, maybe I'll just take away zombies from this one, and I'll have a patrol of just 3 zombies. A light patrol of just 3 zombies. Maybe I'll take the skeletons away, and I'll have 3 zombies and 3 skeletons in there. I like that. 3 skeletons and 3 zombies. There we go. I think that's it. Okay, guys, so as you can see here, I've done more on this. I have now got my gold and everything broke down. I went back and looked, and I may have to check my prior video, but I essentially the breakdown for basic might be different than what I'm used to. I took 200 gold, and when I put it into platinum, that would be times 5. That would actually be 100 platinum, and that would be, so this is how my treasure looked like. Even though I only rolled 4,000 electrum pieces and 8,000 copper pieces, I break it up into this to make it look more natural. And this is going to be found through the different layers of decay and debris and whatnot, and they'll find most of it or all of it. So even though these are round numbers, they probably won't get it all, depending on how thorough they are. They will find, probably on a greater level of success, jewelry and the gemstones that are in there. But I'll roll specifically for each one to see what they find. And some of this jewelry will actually be worn by the Thules. So I need to actually take this off, because I'm going to have the jewelry worn by the Thules. And we have a total of 5 Thules. So one of these will be here. The rest of these will not. And as you can see, I've got them all broke down, and I'll make each Thule specific and unique looking, so that though it is a hobgoblin, though it is different, it will look different. And then this will be the gems I have here. So I'll have 3 gems plus 1 piece of jewelry inside the muck. Then each one of the Thules will have a different piece of jewelry on. And then there'll be this list of treasure that they can dig out of the muck to do that. One of the things I thought about this later, not in the feeding room, but in the different parts of the layer, there would be art beyond the statues. So I wanted to go ahead and give myself some art in here. So I'm just going to create another little layer here. Art. And this would be because This was the catacombs for the Rodemus Keep. So there will be stuff in here. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of how much remains. So I'm going to do a d20 for luck. 6. So we're not very lucky. I'm going to say a d4 plus 3. So 6. 6 pieces of art. Art 1, art 2, art 3, art 4, art 5. So we're going to go ahead and treat this like we did jewelry. So I'm going to go ahead and roll percentile to see what each one is valued at. 99 is going to be the highest level possible, which is 1,000 gold pieces. So this piece of art is absolutely significant, whatever it is. A true masterpiece. 35, that's going to be in the second group, so that's 50 gold. Alright, so now we're going to roll again. 99 again. We have another very significant piece of art down here. And then 60, what? So 69, 67 is going to be the same basically. 500 gold piece. That's another expensive piece of art. I can't see what it is. Cursor landed right on top, so that's going to be 50. Oops. I want to do art 6. Do 91. Yep, that's not what I do. 91 is 500. And that's going to be the art. So we will have art added to this world, and I will get into what those are in the future. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. I'm going to do this again for the were-rats, and I think that's going to be a lot more of the backstory. So look for part 3 of this when it comes out. Thank you. Have a great day, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. Bye. Keep rolling those dice.